Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The solemn atmosphere surrounding Garrison Brown's funeral and burial was undeniably heavy, with the Brown family, friends, and admirers grieving the death of a bright young man whose life was tragically cut short. However, in the sea of tears, hugs, and shared memories, one absence stood out, and for many, it was very unsettling. Dayton Brown, Robyn's eldest son, was nowhere to be seen. While funerals are sometimes fraught with logistical challenges, personal problems, and even private anguish, Dayton's absence has sparked a frenzy of conjecture, concern, and questions that the Brown family may not be prepared to answer publicly. The fact that Dayton, who once shared screen time with his siblings and was a fixture in the family's life for years, was utterly absent during one of the most heartbreaking periods in the family's recent history has become a source of contention that refuses to die. Garrison, the adored son of Janelle and Cody Brown, died abruptly, leaving a loss that cannot be filled. Many of his siblings, including those alienated from the patriarch Cody or Robyn and her children, banded together to grieve, remember, and say farewell following his passing. But Dayton's absence was like a silence louder than any words said. Fans immediately noticed. Where was Dayton? Why was he not there? What does his absence reveal about the sister wives' internal dynamics? For years, Robyn Brown has presented a tightly knit image of her nuclear family. Dayton, her firstborn son, has played an important role in that story, from his adoption by Cody Brown to his college years, surgery, and even some of his struggles navigating adulthood under his overprotective mother's watchful gaze. Robyn has frequently portrayed herself as the emotional guardian of her children, passionately protecting Dayton from what she sees as the negative effects of family conflict. But, in doing so, has she prevented Dayton from developing genuine, long-term ties with his siblings, particularly those outside her inner circle? Dayton's apparent absence from Garrison's final goodbye could be interpreted as more than a scheduling issue. It felt intimate. It felt deliberate. For many family fans and followers, it felt like another example of Robyn's presence causing division within the once unified Brown kin. Several leaked stories and online debates indicate that the funeral was packed with intense emotion. Janelle's anguish was palpable, her children were devastated, and even Cody, a man who has frequently been chastised for choosing Robyn's children over others, was deeply moved. So, how could Dayton, who had lived under Cody's roof for so long and was officially adopted into the Brown family, fail to show up? It's more than just being physically present. It's about what the absence represents. Dayton's absence feels like a message, a silent acknowledgement of the grave cracks that have become the defining story of Sister Wives. Some fans believe Robyn kept Dayton away for fear that the emotional climate would be too overwhelming for him, or to protect him from any friction that may still exist between Cody's older children and herself. Others believe Dayton's kinship with his half-siblings, especially Garrison, was never genuinely developed or authentic, and that the adoption was motivated by optics rather than familial ties. As harsh as it may sound, many believe Robyn has long kept her children apart from the rest of the family. Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna have rarely been seen developing genuine relationships with Janelle's or Christine's children. And, while every child is unique, and family ties are complex, Dayton's emotional distance from his half-brothers, particularly Garrison, is now evident in light of his absence. Dayton is no longer a child. He's an adult, capable of making his own decisions. If he opted not to attend, his decision has consequences. If he was not encouraged or urged to go, it speaks volumes about the climate Robyn has created. It's difficult to picture a family dynamic in which a brother's burial is optional, something that can be skipped without consequences. And yet, that is exactly what occurred. The effect from Dayton's absence has gone far beyond Reddit forums and Facebook fan groups. Insiders close to the Brown family, some of whom remain unnamed, have intimated that the family was caught off guard by Dayton's choice not to appear. Apparently, there were prior discussions and attempts to bring everyone together, even if only temporarily, to memorialize Garrison. Nonetheless, Robyn and her children stayed relatively distant from the situation. While Aurora and Brianna's participation was minor, Dayton's absence resonated with people, most likely because he was the most incorporated into the Brown name through Cody's legal adoption years before. There is an expectation that comes with such a strong familial attachment. A responsibility. A public pledge of unity. When it is broken, particularly at a funeral, it feels like a betrayal, not only to the family, but also to the followers who have followed their tale for over a decade. Some say that Dayton may be dealing with personal or mental health issues. If that's the case, compassion is definitely warranted. Grief affects everyone differently, and not everyone is emotionally or mentally prepared to face the agony of a funeral. Others believe that if such were the case, Robyn or Cody could have addressed it, even discreetly, to avoid the public fury that has now gripped the Sister Wives fans. Their silence on the topic just fuels the fire. Why not just say he was unable to attend due to illness or emotional stress? Why the complete silence? Is the truth too damaging? Is it just another example of the concealment that has persisted in this family's story since the cameras started rolling? Perhaps most tragically, Garrison appeared progressively distant from his father and Robyn in his dying months. He was outspoken about partiality, remoteness, and emotional alienation. He was not afraid to speak up about how Cody prioritized Robyn's children. In that light, Dayton's absence seems much more pronounced. It's as if the fracture Garrison worked so hard to disclose remained even after his death. The fact that he did not receive the unified family send-off he deserved, and that one adoptive brother chose not to attend at all, is a devastating reminder of how broken things truly are. For viewers who recall the early seasons, when the Browns lived together and negotiated polygamy with hope and teamwork, this is a frightening and tragic development. The dream was broken. The cracks are not simply obvious, they are vast. Dayton's absence involves more than simply one person skipping a funeral. It is a symbol. A depiction of all that has gone wrong in the Brown family tale. It reflects broken promises of unity, the consequences of parental partiality, the scars of unresolved conflict, and the toll that years of emotional manipulation and secrecy have exacted on the children involved. It's also a wake-up call. For Robyn. For Cody. For the fans. For everyone who previously believed in the mirage of plural harmony that Sister Wives promoted. Real life, true family, is messy. But when even a funeral cannot bring people together, the magnitude of the mess becomes impossible to ignore. In the end, Garrison deserved better. He deserved a family that could set aside their disagreements for a single day. A family that could show up, no matter how painful or difficult it was. He deserved Dayton's presence, even if it was simply a gesture. The fact that it did not occur is heartbreaking. Fans will remember who stood by the Brown family throughout their most difficult times. Dayton's disappearance may have been silent, but its echoes will last for a very long time.